Now we will see how to create subreport in the Jasper report. For that, first we will go to the Jasper Studio, and then here we will create a brand new JRXML. So to create a brand new JRXML, go to new Jasper report. So I am selecting blank A4, and next here I am just renaming this to food nutrition, and then click next, and then here click finish. Now we have our blank JRXML. Here I don't need the title, delete the title, and then page header I don't need, and column header I don't need, and column footer I don't need, and then page footer I don't need, and summary I don't need. So I just need the detail. So here in the detail I will drag and drop the table. So here in this table we will also see about how to add footer in the table. Here create a new table using new dataset. Click next, create an empty dataset. This I will name it as food dataset, and then select next. Don't use any connection or data source. Click next, and then click finish. Now we have created our table in the JRXML. So here we need to make sure we are creating fields inside the food dataset. So select the food dataset. Here we can able to see fields, parameter, and then variables. Create new field, and here name this field as food name. So this is food name, and then next I will create another field, and this field name is meal time, and then next I will create another field. I will name this as fat, and here I will mark this as an integer data type rather than a string. I will mark this as an integer data type rather than as a string. Next I will create another field. I will name this as protein, and this also I will name the data type as integer data type, and I will create another field. Here I will name this as carbohydrate. I will change the data type to integer. Now we have created our fields. Now we will go back to our table. Here if you double click the table, you can able to see only the table. So here I have the food data set and the table. So here I don't need the table header, so delete the table header. I need the column header, I need detail, I need column footer, but I don't need the table footer. So I am deleting this row as well. So here first to start with, I will create a couple of static fields. So for that I will take the label. So here in the column 1 I will drag and drop the label 1. So I will name this as, so before naming it I will zoom in a little bit to get a better view, and here I will name this as food name, and then I will create another column here, and then another column here, another column at the end, another column at the end, another column at the end. 6 columns I have created. Now I will drag and drop the static text for each and every column. So in this case, second one, static text, meal time, and then the column 3 you will drag and drop the static text again. Go to static text, name this as fat, and then go to column 4. Here drag and drop the static text, and here go to static text here, and then name this as protein, and then the last one is carbohydrate, and the fifth one is carbohydrate. So drag and drop the static field here, and then I will name this as carbohydrate, and then last one is total calories. So here I will create a static text again, and I will name this as total calories. We have created a table, and here in this table we have created header, and in the header we have placed 6 static fields. Now we will do a little alignment change. So now to align this center, select all the static text, just the static text, and then here go to static text, center align. Now we have aligned the column header. Now go to the detail section. Here we can able to find 6 columns. Here we will start placing our fields. So we have already created the fields. Now we will drag and drop the fields here. First we will drag the food name here, and then second one is meal time here, and then third one is fat, and then the fourth one is protein, and then the fifth one is carbohydrate. We will try to calculate the total calories. So to calculate the total calories, here I will drag and drop a text field, and then here go back to the text field, and here in the expression click this button, and you can able to see a new window open up. Here in this, select the fat, double click on it, fat into 9, close brace, plus open brace, close brace. Here double click the protein into 4 and then plus open brace, close brace. Here inside that we will place the carbohydrate into 4. Now we have created expression and we have added this to the column 6. So here, I'm just deleting the column cell. So now we can able to see like this is turning out empty. That's fine. And here I want to put static field in the column 2 and I want to name this as calories. We will start creating variables. So here to create a variable, just right click here and then create a variable. We will name this as total fat. Then calculation function is sum and then the expression, click fat into 4, click finish. Now we have our expression and this is a sum operation. So all the values whichever we are getting in the fields will be summed. And here we have it as expression. So fat into 4, for each and every individual entry it will be multiplied with 4 and then it will be summed. So that's what we are going to place here. And then we are going to create another variable. So I will name this as total protein. And here we have did one mistake, total fat into 9. Now we will go back to the total protein. So here calculation function is sum and here go to protein, double click the protein and then into 4, click finish. Next we will create a total, create variable. Here I will name this as, and then the expression, click the carb, click finish. Now we have created 3 variables. Now we will drag and drop these 3 variables here. Total fat to the column 3 and then total protein to column 4, total carbs to column 5. And here in this column 6 we need to add the expression. So the variable here is create a variable. The calculation function is sum and we need to get the expression which we have here. So I will go to the detail section, click here and get the expression, copy this expression and go to variable 1. I will add this expression here. Instead of variable 1 I will just put this as day calorie. Now we have created day calorie variable. So I will drag and drop this day calorie also to this column 6. Now we will select all this column footer values and we will go to the borders here and select the label. You can able to go to the text field here, text alignment, center this one and select the calories here and then go to static text. Here in the static text you can center align this. Now we have created our base table in the subreport, but to understand this better, now we will see how to transfer our data from main report to this subreport. So here we will see this with this diagram. So now we have created a food nutrition JRXML. Here in this JRXML we have created table and we also created fields in the food dataset. Here we can able to clearly see we have dataset at the main level and we have a food dataset. So we have created fields in the food dataset and then we have parameters here. We didn't created any parameters. We have created couple other variables also and we have filled in this table. Now we need to get this table data from the parameter. So we need to create a parameter named food dataset of type JRBean collection data source. And then we need to get the data from food dataset parameter. So we will create that now. So here we should not create the parameter in food dataset. So if you are in the table, go back to your main report. So I mean the main report in the sense, not the nutrition report, the main report in food nutrition. In the parameter section, create a new parameter and then I will name this as food parameter and then this type is, click this button, we need to select JRBean collection data source. Double click this one. Now we have set this parameter. So for this food dataset we are taking the value from parameter. So here this should be food dataset instead of food parameter. And then we need to make a change in the table also. So here go to table, go to dataset. So use a JR data source expression here. Click this one and then go to the parameters. Here you can able to see our newly created parameter. Click food dataset. Click finish. Now we are done with our JRXML. We have tied this table to these parameters. So that's what we have seen in this diagram. Now we'll go back to our parent report, nutrition report.jrxml. Here I will drag and drop the sub report. So here make sure you are selecting just create the sub report element and select next. Don't use any connection or data source. Next, finish. Now we have created our sub report. Now we need to do some mapping to this nutrition report to the food report. So we will see this in this diagram how we are gonna achieve. So we have seen we have created this food nutrition JRXML. Now we have this main report. The main report in the sense this is our parent report, and here in this parent report we are going to call this particular sub report. So here we will create two different parameters. One is food report, JR report. So this is the complete JR report. So this is the way we are gonna reference this food nutrition JRXML. This reference we are gonna do in our SpringBoot application, and then we will be also creating another parameter which is food parameter. So the food parameter will be getting the parameter for this food nutrition JRXML. So now this JR report is our food nutrition JRXML, and food parameter is the parameter input for the food nutrition JRXML. And for the sub report we need report and then the parameter, and then we will give the data source as empty data source. This is how the parent report to the food nutrition JRXML connection works. Now we will create the parameters. First we will create the two different parameters. Here we need to make sure we are creating in the main report in the parent report. That means here not in the dataset. Here we already have nutrition dataset and macronutrient dataset. We need to make sure we are not creating here. We need to create in the main report. So create a new parameter, and I will name this parameter as food report, and the type of this is JasperReport. And then I will create another parameter, create parameter. Here I will name this as food parameter, and then this I will make this as a map data type. So this is java.util.map. So we have created two different parameters. Now we need to do this mapping in our sub report. So select the sub report here and then go to the sub report section here in the expression. So this expression is nothing but where we are taking the Jasper report. So here the Jasper report is nothing but the food nutrition JRXML. So in this case we need to select the expression, go to the parameters, and we have our Jasper report here, that is a food report. Click finish, and then parameter map expression, here click this one. We also created this java.util.map parameter which is a food parameter. Click this food parameter, click finish, and here the connection expression we need to keep this as empty. We don't need any connection expression. So if you want to connect to SQL, we can use this connection expression. In this case I am not gonna use that, so I am deleting this. I will mark this as new JR empty data source. And now we have done with our complete Jasper report for sub report. Validate this diagram. So here in this case we have created a parent report. This is already existing parent report. In that we have created a sub report. We also created a JRXML. In the parameters we have created two different parameters. One is food report, which is a JR report, which is nothing but Jasper report, and then this is the food nutrition JRXML, which we will be binding in the SpringBoot application. And we also have food parameter, which is a map, and this parameter takes the parameter for this food nutrition parameter. We are marking this sub report to take the food report and then food parameter. Now we will copy this source in the templates, new file, and the file name is food nutrition. So here I will place this copied content, and here we also did changes in the nutrition report. We have created a sub report, so get that JRXML as well. Go to source, copy all, and then paste it here. Now we will start doing modifications in our nutrition report application. So here I will first create a new model. So I will name this as food Java class. So first one is private string food name, and then second one is private string meal time, private int fat, private int carbohydrate, private int protein. Now we will use the lombok here, so I will use to data annotation to create getters and setters, all args constructor, and then no args constructor here. Now we have created a food model, and here we need to make sure we have the same name here in the food nutrition JRXML. Go to the field section, you can able to see food name is correct, meal time is little different, so we need to make sure we are giving the exact same name. So here instead of meal time this, we will replace this with small t, and then all other things are fine, protein, carbohydrate, fat, everything is fine. Now we are done with our model creation. Now we will go to our nutrition report application. Here in this nutrition report application, I will create a new data source. So for this I have already created a food data source. I will copy and paste this here. So here we have created a food list, 8 different objects, and we are adding this to the food list. And here in the food list, with the food list we are creating a JR bean collection data source. So this is simple and straightforward here. So next we will create the parameter, so which we need to pass to our nutrition report JRXML. So here in this case I am creating a parameter, so this parameter is of type map. So here food parameter, and the food parameter name is food dataset, and this dataset is get food data source. So this data source I am feeding to this food dataset. If you see this diagram again, food parameter as a map, and in the food parameter we have food dataset. So here we are creating a food dataset key in the food parameter, and we are also creating the data source as a value for this particular key, and we are putting this in food parameter. That's what we are doing here. Next we will create a Jasper report. So here I have defined the file path. So here in the file path we are given with our JRXML file path, and then next we are using Jasper report, and here in the Jasper report we are using Jasper compile manager to compile this JRXML to a Jasper report. We need to create these parameters here in the parent report. For that I will create a new parameter, parameters dot put. First one is food report, food report, get food report, parameters dot put food parameter, get food parameter. Now this is perfect. Now we have modified our Spring Boot application to supply the food report and then food parameter to parent report, and then here from this the food report and food parameter report are supplied to the sub report and this application. Now we have started the application. So here we are getting some error in the total fat. Now we will go to our Jasper report, and here in the food nutrition go to the variables. Now go to total fat, and this is not of type string, this is integer data type, and then here select total protein, this is also of type integer, and then total carbs, this is also of type integer, and here total calories, this is also of type integer. Go back to our food nutrition JRXML. Now we didn't have any error and report generated successfully. Now we will open this report. Here we can able to see the food name, meal, fat, protein, carbohydrate and total fat, and everything is rendered perfectly. So this is what we are expecting here. The alignment is not centered, so we can change this if we want. So to do that, go to the design, select the fields here, the table detail, and this select all the fields alone, center align everything, make it a center, save, go back to your application, and here in the food nutrition replace this. Now stop the application, restart the application. Now the report generated successfully. Refresh the report. We can able to see everything is rendered perfect. So by this way you can create a sub report in your original report. So here, everything are getting rendered as a single report, but this is a different JRXML altogether. We are passing this values from the parent to the sub report JRXML. Thanks for watching.